Hello, everybody. I'm really trying to get back into content creation. All right, so this is more of a sit down conversation between me and the business athlete family. And you might be one of them, or you might be new in the house. If you are new, I'm Tanya. I am the CEO of Reach Digital, and I'm also a business growth architect and marketing strategist. And I work with tech startups as well as consulting firms to accelerate their growth, customer acquisition, and grow their brand equity in the market. So, this is a conversation that actually stemmed from a conversation that I had in the DMs on LinkedIn with a fellow strategist, and she is in a growth journey, and she asked me a question where she was like, I'm gonna post the question here, but in the synopsis was, when do you actually make the transition from from being a CEO, thinking of yourself as a CEO, and actually not just thinking about yourself as a freelancer, as a strategist, as an independent consultant. So this got me thinking. The business creed actually published an article on it. I'll leave the link on that. If you don't know what is a business creed and you are new here, this is our publication at Wiz Digital Academy. It's what I wish I had when I started my business, and it's more of I would say a repository of content from experts, from myself, from our editorial team on things that businesses like holistically should know about, from lifestyle to money and money, financing, raising capital, to how to run your business, marketing, and of course, technology and innovation. So this conversation is going to be one where we have a discussion around being a CEO, decision making, and what I've learned from being a freelancer to now um, appointing myself as the CEO of the company, and the transitions that I've made, why I've made them, how I approach decision makings, and the paradigm on which of the shifts I have had to make in my business journey. This is Bristol with Tanya, brought to you by Wiz Digital Academy, a show for business athletes and online bosses who are ready to take up. Entrepreneurship can be a lonely road to travel despite choosing a path that allows you to build wealth and make a real impact. It often feels like you are on this journey all by yourself. The desire to work from anywhere is fantastic, but you also yearn for a community of like minded. You crave the chance to exchange ideas, learn from others facing similar challenges, collaborate, and forge new connections in the business world. Your friends and family may love and support you, but they don't really understand what you're going through. They are content with their 9 to 5 jobs, leaving you with no one to talk to about your entrepreneurial dreams. If only there were a community of fellow entrepreneurs, a place where you could find advice and support from those who truly get it. Imagine this, an oasis for entrepreneurs where you can quench your thirst for connection and fuel your ambition to succeed. Business Grid Insider is the community you've been waiting for. It's designed exclusively for entrepreneurs, founders, consultants, and freelancers like yourself. Here you can find a tribe of like-minded individuals ready to uplift, inspire, and help you overcome the challenges that come with building your empire. Expand your business network and explore new partnerships and collaboration opportunities. Enjoy exclusive resources, webinars, and workshops designed to enhance your entrepreneurial skills. Join Business Grid Insider today and unlock a world of support, knowledge, and opportunities to propel your entrepreneurial success to new heights. Head to tiny.cc/business grid insider. If you don't know, you're not familiar with me, I started out as a freelancer in 2017, 2018. I had just made a move from Cape Town to Johannesburg with 1,000 rand in my bank account. By the time I got to my cousin's house, I had more or less 600 left from my house train ride. And when I got there, I found out that she was getting kicked out of the apartment. We had nowhere to go. there were some people that were kind enough to allow us to stay by the house for a month. I'm forever grateful for that. But in that month, I had to figure out how to make an income because she was younger and I was the adult and essentially kind of like the parent, because in African culture, if you are an adult, you are older than somebody, you are the parent in the absence of parents. So with that, I had to find a way to figure out how to make money. I had quit my job in Cape Town. I was burnt out and I was like, I can't do this anymore. So I quit my job and I wanted something different. Me, being adventurous, I decided to make that move. So with that, I had to learn to get clients, and I leverage social media to get clients, Facebook groups to land clients, and I leverage my love of writing and copywriting. And this is how eventually everything unfolded. So obviously for a long time that was great because you could make money without necessarily having huge overheads. But eventually at a particular time and space in my life, I had to make the decision to shift because at the time I was more of a white label, private label, um, digital product designer, as well as copywriter. So basically, I didn't put my name out there. People, clients knew me, but I was kind of like the dirty secret, like the side chick in the business, because I would create the product to intellectual property for the people, let's say courses, and we'll sell the right for these people to claim it as their own, and they will go on to sell out and make money and everything. And then if I had to create a product, yeah, this thing exists. If you don't know, yeah, the internet is quite interesting. So obviously with that, um, what happened was that at the time I had a client tell me that, hey girl, like, you know, you're really good, you're really fantastic at what you do, and you should really think about doing it for yourself. And at the time I told him that it was crazy. I was African. The market that I was creating products for were primarily American, Canadian, all these Western countries, and nobody want to hear that I was African and I was trying to teach them. So that was like my mindset. And the reason I share the story is because this is something we're going to discuss across this video. I hope you got yourself a drink because this is not going to be one of the short videos. So, well, if you are listening to me on the podcast, then I hope, yeah, you either driving or doing something and we're having this conversation. So with that, it was like, but you know what? They're already learning from you. And that was true. They just don't know it yet. And you have to own that space. So it was essentially telling me to go and do it. And at the time, what eventually would happen was that I was like, it's crazy. I would love to say that I went ahead and did that. I didn't, because he was like, I was like, in no way. But obviously, the idea was in the back of my head, and I made a decision to kind of look for people. If I could find 2, 3 Africans doing it on a global scale, I would do it. And I started looking for these people that I could look up to, these heroes that I could figure out that were Africans that I could look up to. And I found Tony Lumelo, I found Dr. Dambisa, and I found Vusi Dembekwayo. Now, this is one of the reasons why I always say when I work with clients, it is important to build in public because your story would inspire others. So when I found Tony Lumelo, I read the story, I was like, I can identify with this. He's chill, he's a billionaire, you know, the thing. But he's from a different generation. Things are different in his time. You know, the thing is with your brain will find excuses to confirm your subconscious biases. So I was like, he's from a different generation. Dr. Dambisa, well, she had to do a PhD, da 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 da. No way. Now, Vusi Tembukwayo, I couldn't quite exactly say that he ain't like me. This kid, because me and him are not that, he's not that much older than me, like just a few years. He was from South Africa. He was from Benoni. I know the good part of Benoni. And I could identify with him because I grew up in Maitland, Paro, Cape Town kids, y'all know Kensington. You know what it is to walk in the middle of the night in Kensington or walking to get home and having eyes behind your back while you have eyes in front and you have eyes on the side. My Cape Town people, my Capstad people, yes, that what this is about. So it was this was I was like, this is interesting. So I started paying attention to him. And eventually I was like, you know what? If he can do it, I can do it. So eventually I started putting my name out there, getting my stuff out there, writing. And that's how I started eventually also getting clients with my own name. Life was good. But then obviously the way that God, the vision that God gives you, it always when you've done the first steps, he upgrades it because he has such a higher calling on your life. So obviously, life has evolved since then. So making the transition from being a freelancer, being an independent consultant, being a strategist, to being the CEO of a company was not something that came easily. First of all, I didn't like the idea of being responsible for other people because if you have to build a company, most times you do need to hire. Secondly, because it also depends on the vision that you have. The vision that I have is not a lifestyle business, it's an exitable business. If you don't know what is the difference, I'll leave the link to a article that we published so you can actually learn the difference between a lifestyle and an exitable business. So I wanted an exitable business because I want to have the opportunity and the choice to exit the business. So what that meant that I had when I had already built quite a renowned brand, a brand that was getting like some recognition in the online space, I had to make the choice to transition from operating from a place of a personal brand to that of trying to build a business brand. Bruh.
We will be back shortly with your episode. Right now, let's hear a quick word from today's episode sponsor.
Are you looking for a simple way to start making sales? Then you'll want to check out our coaching program, Easy Sales Blueprint. Finally, an easy way to sell your program or service. Discover the simple steps to creating a lucrative coaching or consulting business. The Easy Sales Blueprint gives you a step-by-step method to easily make more sales without spending all day on social media, cold outreach, and hitting the door to try a good old-fashioned door-to-door sales system. Apply today by heading to tiny.cc/getmoresales to find out how we can help you achieve online sales success. Are you tired of living paycheck to paycheck? Do you dream of financial freedom? Are you tired of the rat race and would like more time with your loved one and friends, making memories that will last you a lifetime? You may want to download Building a 20 Million Portfolio, How I Created Financial Freedom by Aurelia Amaka, a successful entrepreneur, founder of System.io, and author. So why not give it a try? Download Aurelian's book now and start building your own path to financial freedom by heading to tiny.cc/freedomb. Was that a thing? Because when you start getting recognition at a certain point, because now people get to know your name, people are inviting you on podcasts, people like no, oh Tanya, that's this and that. And now you want to make the transition to a business brand, which means your reach will change because you no longer can just use personal stories. And you can't just be the expert because that becomes the risk for your business. Blah. Bruh. Was that easy? No. So this did not come easily. And it was a difficult choice to make, to be honest. And I want to walk you through the paradigm of that whole situation. So, what is the difference, first of all, between freelancing and being a solopreneur to a one-person business to actually building a business that is acceptable? First of all, with a solopreneurship, frankly, it is just you, maybe a couple of contractors, and the synopsis of it is creating income and revenue and everything so you can support your lifestyle and support your family and stuff like that. However, with a business, you need to create structures, you need to create a whole number of things so that you are not attached to your business, and that in the event that you were to be extracted from your business, it could still run without you. Do you understand this? This is two different paradigms. So in this instance, for example, the way in the online space we build businesses, is we leverage a lot of our personal stories, personal brand to feed into the business. Now, we still leverage founders led brand and go to market, but now there is a shift in how we do things, because I cannot be tied to the results. People cannot just come and be like, I want to work with Tanya, because if that is happening, then we have a problem. Whereas in the past, people were coming to work with Tanya, and I was cool with that because that's what I wanted. This is how I had to build my brand. So I had to make that shift first of all. In my marketing, wasn't easy, and then recently, late last year, we had to make the shift that an investment into building an SEO and trying to build up first party data. If you don't know, in marketing, things are changing next year. Apple changed the game like a year or two ago, and now Google is changing the game in 2024, where they will no longer be third party cookies. So all companies right now should make it a priority to build first party data so that they are able to market to their target audience. So to do that, we had to bring on a play where we would be able to acquire first party data. And this is the media play, right? That we have put in place, because in the long term, this is going to pay us dividends, because a lot of businesses are not building that. So the difference in how I now make decisions is in terms of investment. For example, in the online space, when we're building our marketing, we are often told, oh, go live on social media, da 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 da. We still do that. I still do that sometimes. But the problem is, it's literally me building a house on rented property. This is why I have the business marketing Creed newsletter on LinkedIn. This is one of the biggest visibility play that I made. And the reason I made it was a long-term play. It was never, I no longer make decisions on short-term dividends. I make decisions on long-term plays. Because the one thing that I've realized is that we tend to overestimate what we can accomplish in less than a year, and underestimate what we can accomplish in 3-5 years. This is what one of my mentors had said, because what he had told me, because he has built a multi-million dollar business, exited and everything. I have a couple of business mentors at this point, because this is the play I'm trying to go for. And what he had told me was that you should never chase money. Money is never the problem. Because the biggest problem that we have in the online space, and here I'm particularly talking to service-based businesses, consulting businesses that run primarily online. These are the agencies, these are coaching businesses, online business management agencies. The biggest problem that we have, we live in a bubble. We think in just quarterly terms. That's what we think of. We don't really think in terms of structuring businesses and all the things that comes with running a businesses, that we end up running social media businesses like an Instagram business, and we don't really run actual companies, most of us. So making that shift is not really the easiest thing, because you have to unlearn a lot of the things that you have had to learn to create an online business. So we changed the game, right? What do we do now? We have started. You need to start hiring. You need to start training. You need to move from having to do the delivery and exit from delivery, because that's one of the things that I'm working hard at, is exiting myself from delivery. I'm still marketing, I'm still doing sales, because one of my mentors said that these are usually the last levers that I have to remove myself, especially sales. Because at this point, sales calls, this is why I love getting on sales calls, even if they don't close, the deals doesn't close. I get insight and feedback from the market that feeds into our marketing. So now I no longer just think about I'm getting on a call to close the sale. I no longer just have that pressure to make the income, but I get on sales calls to get insight. So whether the deal close or not, I'm not attached to that, but I'm attached to insight. Whether we lose a client or not, I'm attached to who are the best fit clients. So we are learning with data. One thing is in one thing, the way we market our business with digital for the consultancy and the agency side, the company has a coaching side and has as a consultancy for startups, as well as consultancies that are a lot more established and that are trying to grow their business by leveraging digital channels, is that we now leverage the feedback that we have to market to the right people. So if we know that a company that is at the early stages, too early stages, will not be a fit for us, so we change our messaging to speak to the right clients. So at this point, we know that how we make decisions becomes a long-term play. And this is also how we now make decisions on taking on clients. If the work doesn't fit into the process that we have, because on the consulting side as well on the coaching side, we are leveraging a productized service model, which means we are working on not only projects, but we also we have what we call retainers, MRR, because in the long run, having an MRR model ensures that our exit multiple is higher than if we wanted to sell the business and we only worked on projects. Our exit multiple would be a lot lower. You get what I'm trying to say? So let's say if we get to a point where our EBITDA is $1 million per year, right? That means because we have MRR, we are relatively stable, we can exit the business at maybe 4 million. And because we also have a media company inside the business, which will be driving the majority of our client acquisition, not just ads, because that makes it risky, not just one channel, not just social media, because a lot of people tell you, no, you just need to be on Instagram. The business is less risky. It means that we are exitable and we get. So if my business makes $1 million, I can exit at 4 million, 6 million. So you get what I'm trying to say. So this changes the game. So if let's say a client will come and you say, okay, Tanya, your retainer for your entry packages is $1,500, which is the entry packages for the business, unless you're in the coaching side, which is $1,100 per month. I can't do this. I want you to remove ABCD. I just want this part of the package. Can you do that? As a solopreneur, I could, because I still just want to make money. But as a CEO, now I have to make the decision, how does that affect productivity, delivery? This breaks our processes. This hits at profitability. And also it just makes it difficult in terms of calculating things at the end of the year. So I said no. Whereas as a solopreneur freelancer, I could say yes. But now as a CEO who is thinking in 5 years plans, not just today, I say no, because I'm thinking, okay, I break the processes that affect my branding, that affects our brand, because it says it's really dilutes the branding that we have. It dilutes the processes. It's just a delivery nightmare because I'm not doing the delivery. And I don't want to be stuck in delivery because my job is sales as well as marketing. This is the departments that I'm currently heading. Operational, delivery, I have people in charge of that, right? It's not me. So I appoint an account person, there's a customer support person that liaises with you, and that's that, right? That's that. So this changes the paradigm of how you do business. So how have I come to this stage of my life, the stage of my business? It's I had to learn to embody, and this is what my mentor had said. You need to embody the person that you want to be. The biggest problem that people think that embodiment is what you have been in your past. That is not true. Embodiment is you becoming the person you see yourself being 5 years from now. So 5 years from now, I'm seeing myself as the CEO of a big group, of a company that is making multi-millions and that is really at the top of the food chain when it comes to marketing on the African continent, but also recognized globally. So where I am today, I need to embody this person that I see myself becoming. So I need to start making decisions as Tanya, the group CEO of this multi-million dollar consulting firm. That is what embodying is. Because the biggest problem we often see is like, oh, I'm trying to figure out an offer. And this is what you see online. Oh, my current offer is not working. Do. Patch together a new offer. Go to market because this is, it makes money. But then this becomes a really haphazard business because you're not really known for something. Yeah, your personal brand is known, but you're not really known for anything in particular, right? Whereas now, when you're thinking in terms of 5 years, 10 years, and this is what I saw the Alibaba CEO said, if you're trying to become a millionaire in 1 month, it's impossible. In 1 year, it's impossible. But if you're saying 10 years, that's possible, right? So when you think like that, you get to a place when you want to reiterate and fix. So you know that, okay, my messaging is not working. I'm tweaking it and fixing it. People are not buying this particular offer. Okay, do we really need this offer? Can we simplify the business? This is what I'm doing now. I am removing offers that said it was a great offer when I went to market with it, but this was particularly from the frame of mind, like I said before, of okay, the market wants this, let me meet the market, whereas instead of thinking long term, so we are removing that, we are absorbing a lot of its components into easy sales, but offers that sell, which is a great program for putting together offers, high ticket, high value offers where we teach you how to put high value offers together, is going away. Now, on the coaching side, we only now keeping, whereas we had 3 offers, we are now only keeping independent consulting blueprint, which is for corporate people wanting to transition into being consultants, and easy sales, which is teaching you everything that we do for businesses so you can include that permeates that into your business. So we're teaching you the APK method, infusion selling, how to do that, how to put together webinars, everything that we do for clients, scripting, copywriting, scripting for social media copy, closing sales, everything that now putting together offers that goes into easy sales. So I'm completely overhauling the business because now I'm streamlining the offers to fit into the vision for 5 years, for 10 years. And this is what happens when you start thinking as a CEO. and not just as a solopreneur, and not just as a freelancer. Because instead of thinking, okay, these offers, I see Elizabeth has this offer, it seems to be selling, I'm going to copy Elizabeth's offer. You no longer do that. You no longer do that because you realize that your vision is completely different to Elizabeth. Secondly, you no longer want to operate from a place of scarcity because you know that, okay, I'm operating from a place of abundance and I'm in the process. I'm in a season of process to set up my foundation. And that's because you now learn that everything works, that you need to focus. Focus is the most important place you are at in your life at that point. Because you know that you need to focus your offers, you need to focus your business, you need to focus on your vision. And frankly, there's only 24 hours in the day, and you don't have that much time. So you prioritizing different things in comparison to somebody that is just living and trying to survive. Because when you're operating from that place of putting different offers outside, it's often from a place of survival. And that's where now we come back to the mindset. Remember I shared about my mindset at that stage where I was like, ain't nobody trying to check, and nobody checking for me because I'm African. That was my mindset. And because I was in that mindset, obviously people were not checking for me. Because mentally, subconsciously, we have what we call biases. So if I believe, let's say for example, I'll give you a typical example that is raining right now. You are a chick, you've had bad relationships, and you're at the point you start saying that all men has come. Now what happens? You start trying scam men because you have that in mind. It's in your subconscious. So your brain has to look for confirmation. Think, for example, if you've been thinking of buying a car, you want the A-class Mercedes-Benz. Do you realize that it's at that particular time that you start seeing A-class Mercedes-Benzes everywhere? That's because of confirmation biases. Then you're like, okay, it's such a great car. See how many people have it. So in the same way, if you want to shift from attracting bad men, you have to shift your thinking that men are great. They are bad men, they are good men, and are deserving of a great man. And obviously you attract a great man, right? It's the same thing with your business. The problem is we start thinking, okay, I need to change this, I need to shift, I need to change who I'm speaking to because maybe I see this is not working. No. If you think that it's not working, obviously, then because of that bias, things will not work because you need to confirm that things are not working. So you need to check your mindset because when you try to change the external, it's like me when I'm picking up this cup of coffee, my brain says, I want to drink something. I'm picking up a cup of coffee, right? Now, this is subconscious. Do I know how to do that? I just know that I have to do this, right? My brain is the one that's sending all these messages to my nerves, move the fingers, move the hands, do this, do that, and that. That's what happens. So it's you trying to change clothes, which is your business model, your offers and everything. When you're not checking here is your problem. Because everything that happens in your business, you are responsible for it. And it is because of what is up here. If in your brain you're like, this is not working. I can't do this. I suck at sales. I suck at marketing. I suck at doing this. Then obviously you will suck at doing that. If you like marketing doesn't work, of course marketing will not work. If you're like, I can't do this, I can't afford it, of course you will never afford it. This is why when I've been amongst people, I have this amount of wealth, amass this amount of wealth. You will never hear them say, I can't do something. And this is something that my mentor had checked me on. You don't say, I can't do something. You say, how can I make that happen? Because you need to move from I can't to realizing that they are constraints. So how do you work around the constraints? So my constraints are A, B, C, D. So now what do I do? My constraints are I don't know how to get clients on social media. What do I do? I learn. I pay. Whatever. But it's never, I don't know how to do social media marketing. It's impossible for me to do it. Do you see the difference in approaching your mindset here? Because when you get to a point where you realize that the only thing that you are struggling with are constraints, they are not like the end of the world. They are just commas on your sentences, the sentences of your life. Your paradigm changes. How you make decision changes. Okay, you've lost all your clients. Cool. What can I do different to keep clients? Obviously, that becomes a customer experience situation. Okay, I didn't like working with those clients. So what can I do better? So you get to a point of analyzing your constraints, seeing how you can fix things or work around them. And where you can streamline and remove all the things that you don't need in your life. This is the paradigm changes that you need to make when it comes to decision making as a CEO. At least that is what I'm learning. Secondly, this teaches you that things are not black and white. And this is what I think the average CEO learns. Things are not black and white. You need to be able to read between the lines, work between the lines. And this is what helps you in the long term. So instead of trying to change the body, your clothes, your hair, check yourself inside. Check here. How are you making decisions? This is what shifts things for you. How are you making decisions? Are you making decisions from a place of scarcity? Or are you making decisions from a place of embodying the person that you are becoming? These two will make fundamental differences in how you make decisions in your business. Because if you are making decisions from a place of scarcity, let's say you want to become a renowned coach. I'm just giving an example of industries I've worked with. But now you are at the beginning of your journey. You take somebody like Jerusha Hawk and you're like, oh, I'm doing this, it's not working well as Jerusha Hawk. That means it's not working. Scratch that. But you forget that Jerusha has been at it for 5 years. So, paradigm, where are you in your journey? How are you making decisions? Making decisions for a long-term play, not just a short-term. Of course, we have short-term goals, but making decisions from a long-term goal place. Because let me tell you something. I work with enough campaigns to tell you that there are a lot of things that are taking longer to yield ROI than what it would have done in the past. So if you are making decisions on 3 months basis for, let's say, your marketing, you are losing the plot, because most businesses know that they can start looking, really checking for ROI at 9 months, 6 months, 9 months, a year, to know that if a play has been successful. And thus, this is a paradigm that I had to make changes. It's the same thing with business creed. Instead of looking at quantity of the data feedback, I'm looking at qualitative data. What is the qualitative data that I'm doing? One, I'm getting it's not big yet. It's not pulling a lot of traffic yet, as it should. But what is happening is that the quality of the prospects we are getting, because we are producing this asset, is completely different. The way people come to the table to have conversations with us is completely different because of that asset. So that gives me feedback that, hey, this is already starting to work, even though it is not a way I want it to be, right? So long-term play. Less focus on launches. My launch didn't make $10,000. Doesn't that? And let's focus on that. More on what are you trying to build? What are you trying to build? And one thing I did for me that I will die on this hill, get the mentors. I swear, having mentors that have built businesses the way that I want to. One of my mentors has built a consulting business and exited at over $10 million. Like both of them have exited at over $10 million. One has built a merger and acquisition play, which obviously I am going to get into. I've actually just acquired another website that I'm going. This is not me starting. This is acquiring a website, and it has a different play to it. And the reason is because of the vision that we have and why we are building it this way. So I'm no longer just thinking, okay, what are the small term play? So even when I'm making decision, I keep checking profitability, long term play, where I want to be, and what is the goal in 5 years. That's what I'm working towards. And if you want to understand the whole thing about selling your business, buying your business, I'll leave the link to a course from they got acquired. They are an amazing. The lady herself has sold businesses, so she sold a website as well as an agency. So yeah, it's 1 hour. It will give you everything that you need to know with that. But yeah, this is exactly what you need to do and the conversation I wanted to have with you. If you are like, girl, this is amazing, I want to learn more about these things, there will be the link to Business Insider, the Business Credit Insider Club. This is a club that we've put together for business owners that are really trying to come together to have this type of discussions, because this type of discussions really, frankly, those videos probably going to do badly, or this podcast is going to do badly, because people don't really want to hear that. It's not sexy. It's not a sexy thing to talk about online, but entrepreneurs that are building substantial businesses want that. So this is a community where we are going to be bringing that together, bringing experts to have these discussions, these master classes. We also add a number of assets with that. So I'll leave the link for you to find out more about it. If you're like, girl, I want to talk to you more, bruh. Like, I want to know about building my business, marketing my business so that we can acquire clients. We'll leave the link to booking a consultation with yourself, myself or my team. And these days it's mostly myself, hey, because I'm taking those calls to discuss where you want to be in your business and if we can support you. If not, we'll refer you to people that can support you. But on this note, yeah, join me on LinkedIn. Follow me on LinkedIn, Tanya Kabuya, or search Tanya La Patron. You'll find me. And let's connect. Let's have those conversations. And you might also want to check out my free newsletter, because we have a paid newsletter with Business Insider Creed, but my free newsletters that I send. So one on Tuesday and one on Saturday. The one on Saturday is usually value packed, where I answer one question was business strategy. So I'll leave the details on that below. But on this note, hope this was really interesting for you, that you enjoy this conversation. Let me know in the comments, what are your thoughts? Like, from what time are you going to be making decisions from now on? What kind of business are you trying to build? There's no wrong or right answer. Is it a lifestyle business or an exitable business? Either way, it's fine. But let me know, what are your thoughts on this, and if this is something that you're going to be implementing, even if you're building a lifestyle business, how are you making decisions? Like, this is really important. How are you making decisions as the leader in your business? On this note, I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.